What is up? So we are out here solo. TT was having some technical difficulties. Apparently his computer will not turn on. He was streaming earlier. I don't know what the fuck he screwed up now, but it's always something. Always fucking something. But we had some demand in the comms from the live chat that was supposed to happen on the Terribly Tactical channel, requesting a continuation of the live stream for tonight. We do have a few people that have showed up already. We got first one here. Makes sense. Fucking Rusty, Attempted Adverse, Tennessee Tactical. What is up? Barb, what's up? Did he spill something potentially? One of the things is his new laptop also has a membrane keyboard, which has a fucking whole rubber cover on it, pretty much, underneath the plastic that should keep the spills from causing a problem, as much at least. But I don't know what the fuck. What if TT did away with the scales? Competition, this is actually him wearing Scales' face. It might just be. But you will realize very soon that I am not up to the level that he is at as far as the live streaming capabilities go. We got fucking the gun loves out here. Spills and all other fluids. Yeah, you got to be careful in them fluids, you know? Hopefully Barry Suss makes it over. He was on a roll. He was fucking... Everybody's over here mad trolling the TT. It was fucking, it's hilarious. I hope he does go back and read the comments, though I don't know how he's going to read the comments. I'm assuming he's going to stop that stream at some point, because right now it's still showing that the stream is upcoming, I believe, and it just hasn't started yet. So the comment section's still alive over there. I don't know what's going on there. It's not popping up anymore. Maybe he did end that shit. Nope, it's still there as an upcoming video. That is wonderful. But yeah, this is what we're doing then. We did have requests for a TT style rant, but unfortunately I can't really rant like he does. I'm not that great at talking to myself. He must have had plenty of practice as a child. I don't know. He died in a scav run and slammed his comp on the ground. That might have been exactly what happened. He just fucking smashed Hulk smash on that bitch. Who knows, man? Who knows? I didn't get nothing until I told y'all, you know? I was sitting there waiting and shit. And I got a text from him saying the chat is off. No more chats. And so here we are. I did have some shit that I want to share with you guys, though, is today. I made some improvements in my life, I think, you know? Number one, something that has been bothering me for like 2 fucking years now. You just don't hear the other voices like he does. I got voices I'm hearing for sure, just not the same voices, and they don't like to talk back as much. That's the problem. They don't respond. It's more so just yelling orders of what to do. But it's fucked up. I'm gonna get fucking Shine's gonna come in here and say some shit. She's gonna lock me up. Fucking bring her fiance to work day for her. But I got this. Did you buy another red ride? I did not buy another red ride. I've already got like 6 of them. I don't think I need more, though at some point I will probably get more red rides. Are you an Olight affiliate now? No, I'm not. I still don't have an Olight affiliate code. I haven't bought any Olights in a while because fucking they've started annoying me. Because I hate the fucking magnetic charging. I despise it entirely. And I did buy the last Olight that I bought. I believe at least it was the last one that I bought. I may be lying to y'all. So I think I might have bought one of the little fucking dual AAA lights since then. But one of the last Olights I bought was this motherfucker, which I thought was a dual 18650 light. Turns out that the battery on this is completely fucking proprietary, contrary to what I was told beforehand. And the handle itself is the battery. So in order to replace the battery on this, which eventually being a fucking lithium-ion battery will die off, I can either get my fucking snap ring pliers and try to fucking take that shit out and see if there's actual battery cells inside of that. But realistically, I'm spending like $80 on a new fucking battery from Olight, or I'm just tossing this thing in the fucking trash. But this thing's a goddamn lightsaber, though. It's fucking I don't even remember how far the throw was on this thing. It's like fucking 400 meters or something like that. And it's cool. It's a toy, because it's all it fucking is a toy. And kind of the same boat with the Surefire here. Not because of what it is, there's a manufacturer, not because of the company. This is a Surefire backup MV. So it's a single CR123 cell light. We came full circle back to mag lights, yeah, Tex. But it's a single CR123, supposed to have 400 lumens, dual mode, high-low on the back switch. Now, I've had this light for 2 years. I could not for the life of me figure out how to get this thing to fucking run. But I finally did. So the problem is I bought this secondhand. I bought it used from some guy on a fucking Facebook group. I buy a lot of shit from random dudes on Facebook groups, especially fucking tactical shit and all that fun stuff, right? I've tried a couple different fucking Surefire handhelds, never liked any of them. This one incorporates, now I know, incorporates one of the features that I didn't quite like about the other handhelds I had with something that I do like, in that I have dual mode, so low, then I've got high. I don't know what the lumen count is, because this thing's a goddamn Frankenstein. So it was the backup MV originally, which is a 400 lumen dual mode with the fucking tail click. Now the tail switch has been swapped with another light. I don't know what light it was off of, but the tail switch has been swapped. So it's just an on-off switch. And the head was swapped with a Tactician, with the Surefire Tactician. So still a Surefire light in every way, but the Tactician is a 2 CR123 light. This is what was swapped off of it. And the body only takes one cell. And so I have to run it with rechargeable CR123s, which are much more expensive, much harder to come by. And I only got 2 of them, which I completely forgot that I had. Don't know why I had them, but I fucking finally found them and I decided to try it out. But the single CR123s don't have a high enough voltage for the regular CR123s. I have to use the rechargeables because it's a higher voltage to get it to actually fucking run. I don't know the runtime on it because, again, this is a fucking Frankenstein. It ain't supposed to be. So it's probably a short-ass runtime. But as far as an EDC light, I don't think I'd be too mad at it. And that's what I'm really trying to do, is I'm trying to get something that's going to be an EDC light that isn't, while I like the fucking little AA, AAA lights, like I got this little fucking O-light, single AAA, fucking 2-mode, whatever. I've started having issues with some of the newer ones that I've gotten with the tail caps, the clicks not working, not functioning properly. So I'll have to hit it 2 or 3 times and it just gets annoying after a while. So I think I'm going to try this out, see what's up, see how long the fucking battery lasts. They are rechargeable. I got 2 of them, so I can swap it out. I got the chargers for it, whatever. Shouldn't be too bad. But I don't like not being able to just buy a battery off the shelf for it. Like, even with the fucking 18650 lights, I can go to a vape shop, I can buy an 18650 battery. I have yet to see a single fucking, what are they? I think they're 16640 or something like that. 16340 is the fucking cell that I got. The 16340, if it'll fucking 880 milliamp hours, 3.7 volts. I got 2 of them. I have yet to see them in a store for sale ever. No fucking vapes run off of them. They don't fucking use them for cameras and nothing because they're a higher voltage than what's bought on the shelf as far as the regular CR123s. But it is what it is. The fuck? Why am I rude as fuck? Did I say something? God. Rude. Just gonna coming in here to talk shit. But so I'm gonna try it out, see what's up with that shit. I also, and fucking, I told TT about it earlier, and he called me out saying I'm watching too many of the Risky Crisky vids, talking about comms and shit like that. Fucking Rusty's asking about the OLED. How's that OLED copper i3T treated your scales? I mean, this one I haven't had too many issues with. I honestly, where the fuck did I just put that damn thing? I got too much shit. I mean, trouble toggling it from low to high because I'm an art-hard. All right. I mean, this one I haven't had any issues with, luckily. My other ones I got the newer updated version. I think I got the single AA light that they just came out with. Then I got just came out with, I mean, like 6-7 months ago now. And then I got the dual AAA light. I forget what the fuck they were. Those ones, the single AA light is the one that I'm having issues now with. That's not wanting to change. You order me to stop being a bully? I'm being a bully? I don't know what the fuck I even said. I said you're gonna fucking drag me away and fucking lock me up. The fuck are you talking about? Fucking put me in the crazy bin. But yeah, I mean, I've had OLEDs for fucking ever. I've had a lot of them. I mean, I got the fucking copper M2R Warrior. I think this is M2R Warrior 2 that I fucking carried forever. Battery's dead on it because I haven't fucking touched this thing in forever. Haven't carried it, haven't used it, haven't given a fuck. But I tried the through night shit for a little while. I have the I forget which through night it is, but it's one of the fucking big ass fucking beefy batteries that's bigger than the 18650s. And I've been having issues with that as far as just it going off in my fucking pocket or turning on and heating up and causing issues. I had originally gotten it. It had the fucking carrying case that I wore on my belt, looking like Batman and shit with my Leatherman right next to it. But even that, inside of the fucking pouch that it comes with, it turned on somehow and literally melted the pouch that it came with. So then I was carrying it in the pocket, trying to be more careful with it. Didn't have too many issues, but till this summer I was fishing and I had it in the cargo pocket and it came unclipped from the pocket and fallen down into it and got fucking pressed somehow. And it started fucking burning. Like that shit, I took it out of my pocket. It was smoking. It was fucked. But I still got it. Skills are on the carry red dot train yet. I'm on the not carrying at all train. I don't own guns. Guns are bad. Guns kill people. But red dots and carry guns is definitely a thing. It definitely could be beneficial. In my experience so far, I am not the biggest fan, but I think it's just I haven't had enough time behind them to be proficient with a dot on a pistol. I still prefer iron sights as far as what I've used so far. But I could definitely see the purpose for it. It definitely can be better, just like anything else, as far as fucking, you got one thing to look at instead of having to line up two, right? But most of us, if not all of us, have enough time behind regular fucking pistols with an iron sight to get that muscle memory down to where you don't have to fucking line it up. You're already lined up. Especially doing dry fire practice, you're training, you're running those drills, shouldn't be an issue. But there's a time and a place for everything. If you like a carry dot, run a carry dot. You don't like a carry dot, don't run a carry dot. It's whatever the fuck you want to do. Because this is fucking freedom. You know? It's whatever the fuck you want. We got A-dubs. Phoenix makes a legit light, just not washer safe, thus the 1L, 1AA. Talking about the fucking Streamlight 1L, 1AA. The ProTac. I had that shit. Shit out the fucking, it's supposed to have a programmable switch to where you fucking press it like 9 times and change the shit. Mine just never got past low. Mine never switched off low no matter what battery I put in, how fresh the battery was. I voltage tested all the batteries I had in it, but it never fucking worked. And then I didn't feel like fucking returning it for warranty or nothing like that. So it's like sitting in a fucking box somewhere in the other room, and I haven't looked at it in fucking years now. So that's, I think, one of the first lights that I got after my fucking little Bushnell 1 AAAs that I got. It's the first actual fucking name brand, fucking decent brand flashlight that I got. It was a little ProTrac, Streamlight ProTac, 1L, 1AA, and it shit out on me, which is bullshit. Then I went to OLED. I hadn't any problems. Even most of the lights that I have had problems eventually was like a couple years down the line. One thing I always have said is they're fucking weapon lights beyond the Pro Valkyrie 2 or whatever the hell it is that actually has the replaceable CR123s in the back. I approve of those, as far as a decent, cheaper weapon light option, because they're cheaper than an X300, about the same price as most of the Streamlight pistol lights, but puts out a lot more power than most of the Streamlight pistol lights, within that price range at least. But once they went to all the micro lights, micro pistol lights, everything like that, that all they're doing is a fucking magnetic charging, fuck that shit. Okay? Even on fucking my M2R Warrior, it's got the magnetic charging on the back. The biggest thing for me that made this okay is that I could remove the battery. And notice this is an Olight battery. I could remove the battery, charge it separate, and not have any issues. So I never had to utilize the magnetic charging. I never had to rely on the magnetic charging. I can still go out and buy an 18650 battery for like $5 at any vape shop anywhere, because they're on every fucking street corner around, because we all got vapes. It's a problem. You shouldn't, but we got it. But now they got the fucking every single one of their fucking weapon lights. And I think even some of the rifle lights they're coming out with now are strictly magnetic charging. It's the only way you can charge the shit. Just like this fucking shit. You can only charge it with the magnetic charging. You cannot swap the batteries. Meaning, if you're out in the field actually doing shit, batteries die, as batteries do, you can't fucking change it. You have to fucking break out a solar panel and fucking try to charge this shit. Hope you got a fucking little battery pack laying around. You got a little fucking anchor to plug it into. But that is just fucking stupid. Like, if you are one that thinks, I have a gun solely for the purpose of, I carry it every day in case I get robbed, in case some dude tries to fucking mug me, in case I'm at a store and somebody's trying to fucking hold up the register, right? And I'm going to defend myself or others in that situation. If that is the only reason you have a gun, I understand that thought process. May not be much of an issue for you. If you're going to see an actual conflict to where you may be in an hours-long gunfight and you're just going to fucking walk away, cool. Do whatever the fuck you want, right? Again, free fucking country. But me being one that if I saw some shit like that, I don't know if I could walk away from it. I'd be going for that fight. I want to be prepared for whatever the fuck I possibly can be at any given point in time. Even if it's not the most prepared, I don't have the best shit. I don't have everything, right? I mean, I not have the best skill set. I'm going to fucking try. And so I want to be able to try. I want to set myself up the best. I want to be able to have a spare set of batteries, be able to swap that shit out in a fucking minute, which is also why, as far as the fucking X300s go, and I always have this argument with TT, is that he likes the X300U B. B for bolt. He likes the bolt-on shit. And he likes to fucking Loctite that shit. He likes to fucking take a penny and torque that bitch down as much as he can. But I like the easily quick detach fucking shit. Little clip-on shit. The X300UA. You squeeze that down and it unlocks. Locks on tight enough on anything that I need it to, as far as my experience. Doesn't move too much. But when you have an X300 on your gun, you cannot, usually at least, cannot access the battery compartment. You have to take the light off, or at least move it up on the fucking pick rail in order to open up the battery compartment on the back to swap your batteries out. And that, to me, having a bolt holding it on that's Loctited may not be the easiest, may not be the fastest in that situation to swap those batteries out. Not the best idea. Now, you can have a secondary handheld light and fucking go just like that and have a light if your batteries go down. Yes, 100% it can work. Not the best bet, right? But there's arguments for everything. We did have somebody bringing back up that I was talking about the Risky Krisky and the radios. I believe it was the Constitutional Carpenter. Yes, I was mentioning something about Krisky and radios. So I was talking to fucking TT earlier about it, and he was calling me out saying I was fucking watched too much of the Risky Krisky, even though I don't think I've watched enough of it. But he's done a few videos recently on his fucking Baofangs and radios and everything, all those setups. And a few years ago now, I bought a radio, a UV5R Pro. But it's not a Baofang. I got scammed by fucking Amazon. It was advertised as a Baofeng. I get it in, and it's a fucking 10-way UV5R Pro. That's what I got. It's damn near identical, if not exactly identical. Probably made in the same fucking factory. Probably the same fucking shit. But it says 10-way on it, not Baofeng. It was the same price. Build quality seems the same. It works. I've got it programmed the same way. I went on to fucking Chirp, programmed the channels into it, using the same fucking software that they have for the Baofeng UV5Rs, and everything worked the same, right? But it still just got to me that it's not a fucking Baofeng, because Baofeng is already a cheap Chinese radio. Okay, it's already the cheapest fucking radio that you're gonna get, and I got to knock off of that. Okay, that's fucked up, right? And so I finally, after watching too much Risky Krisky, got an actual Baofeng UV5R, and that's what I was doing, and why I actually could have been on the live a little bit earlier, but I was actually programming this new Baofeng just now using Sharp. Got all the same channels and everything on both of them, but literally looking at them side to side, right next to each other. Weight, feel, everything looks exactly the fucking same. The only difference I'm finding is everything on the Baofeng is branded Baofeng, where it's the stuff on the 10-way isn't branded. That is like the only difference that I can see between the two. But either way, now I got two radios. I got two adults in the home. It's probably a good idea anyways to have two radios. Realistically, what I want to do is if I can I need to find the charger. It's a fucking second charger for this one. And I'm going to set up a fucking charger up front and a charger back here. Have my radio back here. Have her radio up front. That way at nights when I'm in here, because a lot of the time I am in here, playing fucking Tarkov, shooting the podcast, fucking doing this live stream now. It's some way for her to contact me immediately. Especially I did get it set up. I've been slacking on it. I've been fucking slacking hard on the communications side. But I got it set up now on an FRS channel where it's strictly local pretty much, right? It's going to be a low signal output. It's not going to reach very far, but it's enough to where I'll be able to hear up front. She'll be able to hear me back here. And I'm probably going to want to leave that on almost all times, or at least all the time when I'm back here. I'm going to say that I'm going to leave the 10-way on the battery with a smaller battery, right? On the battery at all times on, just in case. And then as far as back here, get this all set up to where it's just going to be on when I'm back here. That way when I'm up front, which is where everything the fuck else is at, where I am most times, I'll also have this second radio up front for any other reason that I may need it. And it's going to be charged, even if the battery's deteriorating over time from being sitting on the charger the whole time. But I'll always have something. And then I still want to get, and I know the Risky Krisky showed some shit, and I wasn't paying much attention when he did, but about setting up a radio more discreetly, where he has a regular pair of fucking no name as headphones, fucking earbuds hooked up, the separate mic on his rig right here, to where you have the buttoned rig. What the fuck? I see Scales can't bring the chat solo. What? I can't? Okay. But NC Scout's book, Gorilla's Guide to the Baofeng Radio, is legit. It's really helped me understand my radio, really easy to read. That's one thing. I really do need to get more information on the radios. But as I was saying, the Risky Krisky's got a setup to where he has the earbuds. Then he has a separate mic down here set up, just like how these come with, or at least this one came with, a fucking full kit where you get your Stendo antenna, right? The fucking programming cable, which I already utilized, the fucking little CD that gives you the chirp shit, but who the hell's got a fucking CD player or whatever the fuck, a fucking disk drive on the computers anymore? That shit doesn't exist. So I just download this shit off the internet. But it comes with this little motherfucker, so I can pretend to be a cop, put that shit on my shoulder, just I ain't doing that shit. But they have basically this in a smaller form factor that'll jump off. Doesn't have the speaker in it, so you're not giving anything away audibly if you have headphones in. And there's an adapter that you need to get that'll run. Basically, it'll interface with this fucking 2-plug shit right here. 2 little plugs that everything else does. And with that, I can run a regular headset, right? Regular headphones, earbuds, whatever the hell. But what I'm going to do, what I want to do, and what I've been wanting to do for a little bit now is I need to still set up my helmet as well. I want to set up my helmet with my ears. I got the fucking the Walker Razor Slims that have the separate aux cord set up to hook up to your radio, so you have them in the ears on your electronic ears. Have that hooked up to the fucking helmet, and I want to get that, and I need to get that connector to get the fucking mic separate, audio through the ears, and I'd be set. That's what I want to do. I still have to get the rest of the shit, get all my comms set up, but yeah. Mr. B saying I have the 8-pack. My friend is programming. So that's the thing, is I've been programming the shit myself. I would like to get everything coordinated with TT and the rest of the guys to where at least we have a couple channels in common to where we're already set up, okay? To where we have comms on deck in the case of needing comms on deck. But right now, I've told TT to bring his fucking radio over so I can see what fucking channels he's got on his radios, because he's had somebody else that program the shit for him every time. But for some reason, I just can't get him to fucking bring the radio over. He says, oh, it's all the way in this kit, and then there's one in this kit, and fucking, dude, just bring over the kit then. Like, come on. But he just hasn't yet. And I don't think I'm going to get him to. Plus, I already got my shit set up, and I don't know if I want to change this shit anyways. But yeah. We all need to at least have the same couple channels. That's what I'm saying. That's my thought process on it, right? So like I've set up a couple of things where they're kind of the most common for certain purposes, right? As well as, of course, I got the fucking police and shit on there, because you got to know what the fuck they're saying, what they're coming for. But cross train with everyone cross trains, yeah. But I don't know. It's one of those things I just need to figure out what everybody wants to do. Because like I said, TT's got all his shit programmed by somebody that's programmed apparently a bunch of other guys as well. So I'm assuming they've all got common channels that they're working with. And I still need to get common channels with them then, and get all that set up. TT don't want to reveal his lot lizard chans. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly the problem. He don't want to reveal his lot lizard chans. But he don't want to admit he's a lizard person, but he's all about them lizards, I got a Baofang, but our local PD uses truncated radios. Yeah, I mean, I picked up both town and county with these. That's what I got programmed right now, and I also got fire and shit set up on it. But just in case, you hear the sirens going down the street, you want to make sure they're not yelling out your address, And if they do, you got to be ready. Mr. B says lot lizards. I used to drive 25 years ago. Them lot lizards were scary. I didn't miss the comment, though. I didn't miss it. I did see it. We got the Boonie Hat Bandito up in the chat saying, come on down. Let's catch a Diamondback. Only one. I did have some more news, some unfortunate news regarding snakes. I am one more away from being the tactical scales, unfortunately. As y'all all know, I had a Burmese python. Emphasis on had a Burmese python, an albino Burmese. I was thinking about what to do with them. It was the one I had given to me. Somebody didn't know what the fuck they were doing. It was half past dead already. And I've spent about the last year now trying to bring that thing back, trying to get it going again. And I got its tail healed up because it had a massive infection across about the bottom 2 feet of its tail. And I got all that healed up finally. It took quite a while. Um, but for some reason, even after that tail healed, it just did not want to put on weight. And no matter what I would feed it, how often I would feed it, no matter what, it would not put on weight. And then within the past month or so now, it's actually started to lose weight. And that's never a good thing, especially when it's still eating, not having any issues there. Um, but I picked up some rabbits last week from the shop. I fed him one. Again, I'm trying to feed him up a little bit more, try to get him to put on some weight instead of losing that weight. So I don't know why he was losing weight. And fed him Monday. No, Monday. Fed him a rabbit Monday. He didn't want to take it down at first. Fucking took a little while to get him to actually take it. He grabbed it, dropped it, grabbed it, dropped it. Finally grabbed it, put it down. And then Friday, I fed him again. I fed him the second rabbit that I'd gotten because they were smaller rabbits than what he should be eating anyways. But I fed him the second one Friday. And this morning, he had one half hanging out of his mouth because he had apparently regurgitated, throwing it back up. Something wasn't sitting right with him. And it had gotten caught halfway out his mouth, which can be a problem with larger feeders like that. And especially with pythons and such, their teeth are curved backwards to hold their prey inside of their mouths, not exactly meant to come out. That with all the bile and stomach fluids and everything like that, all the acids that build up in their stomachs, coming up with that, getting stuck in the throat, can start eating away at that, tearing away at that, because their stomach acid literally melts bones. It decomposes bones, right? What that does inside of their body when it's coming back up is not a fun or pretty sight, as well as having its entire mouth full of a rabbit. And he is no more. My berm is no longer with us. So TT no longer has to worry about the berm escaping and trying to eat him, or putting a fucking 45 through his head, even though all he ever carries is a 9mm anyways. But yeah, the albino Burmese is no longer with us. It's unfortunate. On the plus side, I don't have to figure out what the fuck to do with them if I move to Florida, because they're illegal in Florida anyways. I had literally just Monday talked to one of my old ex-coworkers now, I guess, about seeing if she would take them if I do end up moving, which it's looking like I will eventually, at least, down to Florida. And she was talking about, let me know so I can set up a cage and everything like that. And I just told her earlier, you ain't got to set up a cage no more. I don't need to find anybody to take them for me anymore. But the rabbits will be happy, I suppose. Well, the rabbits were already frozen where I was buying them, so I don't know if it'll change anything. First one shot says, I would love to move to Florida. Thanks for everything, guys. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it's one of those things where it hurts regardless. It sucks. I didn't want that happening, obviously. But he was never in a good state. I never got too attached to it. I always knew that anything could happen because, again, he was never really good. He was getting better for a time being, then getting worse again, and shit happens, Plus, apparently, the previous owners had already had him for, I think, 22 or 23 years, so it was getting up there in life anyways. And as they get older, just like anything else, their immune system starts to slow down a little bit. Fighting stuff off takes a lot more energy. And biggest issue was I couldn't, while the tail was healing, I couldn't feed anything too large, because with it being right at the base of the tail, right from the vent up 2 feet, anything that I put in has to come out. And so with that, if I put in something too big, something big is going to come out. And I didn't want that to be pushing out on the infected area, on the scabs and everything like that, breaking that back open and causing issues there. And so I was feeding more often smaller feeders, which even in that case was like a jumbo fucking rat, a rat this big. But he should have been eating rabbits, you know? He should have been eating bigger rabbits than even what I was feeding him now. But Scales, you're moving to Florida to pursue your dreams of being a fluffer for Bang Bros. Definitely. That's exactly my dream. Yes, yes. Different kind of snakes I want to fuck with in Florida, you know? But no. Is Bang Bros based out of Florida? I'm sure you would be the one to know. But no, I have no desire to be a fluffer for anybody, except maybe myself sometimes. But you know, you got to get things moving, all right? But but no, so that was unfortunate. That fucking sucked. But I got some positives. I finally figured out this fucking light after dealing with it for 2 years, and I got a fucking Baofeng radio, which now I need to buy more shit for, and figure out how the fuck to mount my ear pro to my helmet, because yeah. So my whole issue with that shit is a fucking what rail adapters do I need to get? Because I've seen a lot of people what they'll do and what they have to do with the ear pro that I got. Because I'd rather use the ear pro that I already got, because I already got it. Fuck spending more money on shit. I got like 3 pairs of that shit, and so I want to use that. But you got to fucking cut it all up and fucking snip the wires, then get the mounts to go onto the fucking helmet and set everything up prop. I don't know what the fuck to do with it. Yeah. Skills and TT should pick up where Doug the Bounty Hunter and Beth left off. What? Bro, I ain't fucking seen nothing about Dog the Bounty Hunter fucking a decade at least. That's half my life at this point. Yeah. Florida gun laws would be amazing compared to Illinois. Yeah, that is true. I mean, that is not exactly the reason I left. You know, I am alongside TT and saying, you know, you can't always run from the fight, and it's not always the best bet to run from the fight. Is that a better push for me to move? Sure. But it was already being planned anyways, you know. It may, you know, we wanted to follow the in-laws down there. They're already down there. They got a house already. They're looking at finding a bigger house and some property, and then hopefully we'll be moving in on that property as well in a separate house that we would have built, or at least put there when we manufactured home, you know, get that double wide, that triple wide trailer, you know. But poor Tac 556's video on how to do it to the Howard lights. Yeah, see, but that's I've seen a bunch of videos on it, right? And they all recommend like some cheap Chinese fucking rail adapters that's no name brand ass shit. And like maybe that's what I need to go with, but it's also not exactly what I want to go with, you know? Like I want to get the shit. I got the fucking cheap Chinese helmet. I got some fucking cheap ear pro, but it's still shit that's decent. And like I've seen some people with that they're buying airsoft quality shit, that's known airsoft quality shit. And even I've seen reviews on some of the fucking adapters and some of the rail shits they've done, and like even airsoft people are having them shits break. And I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah. But one of the biggest things is where my in-laws are going, they want to go to Polk County. And at least that's around the area they want to be in, right? And I would love to live in Polk County, you know, place where the fucking sheriff is telling people that fucking somebody breaks into your house, you shoot them, and you shoot them dead. So I got less paperwork to do, you know, like that's fucking 100% yes. Let's do that, right? But we got to figure out how everything goes. They're trying to fucking grab a few acres down there with a house on it, and then they'd be living there. And then we would have a manufactured home put on the property. They'd allocate a couple acres to us, which hell yeah, let's do that. But yeah, hopefully it all works out that way at least. But they don't allow big snakes. No Burmese, no retics, no anacondas. I don't think you can have any of the fucking I don't think you can have carpet pythons either. None of the big 6 pretty much, which I've always said in my life I want to have at some point have the big 6. I've had 3 out of the 6 personally already. But yeah. Rusty says, Just received confirmation. TT is MIA. He's currently binge watching 90 Day Fiance. He might just be. That might be what's happening. I did text him, told him that I'd be going solo on the Shooting the Poop podcast, and haven't gotten a response from him. He texted me saying that the live chat was off, and then that was it. That's all I got from him. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Said he couldn't get his computer turning on, and the live stream is off. But don't want none unless you got buns, hun. Hell yeah. There's still people that are reporting. There's still people reporting now that they're seeing anacondas in the Everglades too, which isn't completely far off. Honestly, it probably should be there. If anything is, that makes the most sense. But they still want to deny it. Polk County is Lakeland area, isn't it? Yeah, just about. I think actually Lakeland is in Polk County, but it's one of the areas we were looking at. We were looking everywhere over there. Polk City, fucking all of it. Just trying to find some property. That's the biggest thing. Constitution Crop says that's way down in Florida. It's not that down in Florida. It's about midway. It's about right there in the middle. We're looking at not being right on the coast, better for hurricanes and shit like that. I think there are gators down there too. You think there's gators down there in Florida? Who would have thought there'd be gators in Florida? No, that's another thing is fucking we want to have some water on the property, whether it be the property runs up to a lake somewhere, or we are going to, as I've always said, and now I've gotten a Stevie, the father-in-law, I've gotten him convinced that basically what my dream always was, and what I've always said, is that I want to get some land. I'm going to dig me a hole, fill that bitch with water. I got my fishing hole. I'm going to take that dirt I dug out of that hole and build myself a berm. That's all I need. I'm happy, right? And now I got a Stevie on board with that, and so that's his plan as well. If we can't get property right up on a lake, which is going to be difficult to do with one fucking at least 5-6 acres, right? Then that's the plan, is to fucking dig a hole, take that dirt, build up a berm, fill that hole with water, which it's Florida. It'll fill itself anyways. Fucking water table's like 2 foot under the fucking surface, no matter where the fuck you are in Florida. But so that wouldn't be difficult. Yeah, that's the plan. Have a fucking shooting range and have a fucking fishing hole. That's all you need. But problem is, you bring a fishing hole, then you're bringing fucking fish. When you're bringing fish, you're bringing in shit that eats fish. Whether that be fucking cottonmouths or fucking water snakes, Either way, you got fucking gators, you got all that shit because it's Florida. So you got to keep in mind with all that, especially fucking. I got 3 dogs. They got fucking 5 or 6. I don't remember anymore how many dogs they got. So having fucking 9 dogs, 10 dogs on the property with gators and rattlesnakes and cottonmouths and copperheads, coral snakes, all that fun shit could be a bit of an issue and something we got to deal with. Obviously, the dogs ain't going to have full reign of the property at all times. But, yeah, it's going to be an interesting time. First one shot, can you fence the pond? So that's where you get into some things on what the pond is then, So if you got it private, completely enclosed on your property, you can do basically whatever the fuck you want with that pond, right? But if that pond is in any way attached to a public waterway, then you got other rules to live by, Then you gotta fucking, it gets interesting. And I'm sure regardless, you can put a fence up further away from the pond and kind of fence off that area of the property. Regardless, 100% you can do that. But it will all depend on what the property is, how it's set up, what's going to happen. It's nothing that can be planned right now, planned ahead for. Biggest thing that I'm thinking to try to do is to fence off a section of the property, right? Which would probably be done anyways. If we get 6 acres, we're not going to have fucking 6 acres mowed at all times, right? Because that's a pain in the dick. And so I would have a fenced off property, have like an acre, right, per house. That would be taking care of manicured lawn, all that kind of shit, right? have the backyard fenced in for the dogs to run around in and the kid. And then beyond that fence line, still into the fucking rest of the yard, still have 10, 15 feet mowed. Okay, have that cleared off. That way you get a nice little barrier between the two for basically just a deterrent of any wildlife coming beyond that fence, right? Of any snakes and shit like that coming beyond that fence. But still, that ain't gonna do everything. Now there's snake fencing, and shit they put in for that, where they'll dig down along that fence line, and it's basically just a fucking plastic barrier that goes down a foot and up above the ground a foot, just to keep them from digging underneath, and another deterrent to keep things out of the yard. Because as much as I love snakes, I'd love to be down in Florida, fuck with rattlesnakes and coral snakes and cottonmouths and copperheads and fucking pygmy rattlesnakes, diamondbacks, all that shit. That's one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to. But I don't want my dogs fucking with snakes. I don't want my daughter fucking with snakes. I don't want a gator in the backyard when I fucking let the dogs out in the middle of the night, And so it's just one of those things. Don't fence in the kid. Free range kids all the way. Yeah, free range kids and free range gators. That's the best plan. Yeah. But first one shot, wow, I've never heard of snake fence. Yeah, I mean, even like all around fucking Disney World is fucking, they got snake fencing everywhere. You'll see it because they like to think that nothing is dangerous in Disney World, It's one of those things where nobody's ever died there either, Just because they died on the way to the fucking hospital afterwards. Coral snakes are gorgeous, but unfortunately they are highly deadly with their neurotoxins. Yes. But one of the cool things about coral snakes is that they are very, very rare to bite. They don't often get aggressive. And I believe they are rear-fanged venomous. So while they have an extremely toxic venom, they have to sit there and chew on you regularly in order to actually inject that venom. So not as dangerous. Probably one of the least dangerous of the venomous snakes in Florida, other than the copperheads, because copperheads really aren't medically significant to most people. Yeah. What was that? They've only been documented 2 children eaten by alligators at Disney World. I didn't know there was 2. I know there was the one because it was just like a month or 2 after we were there. And on a beach that we were sitting at with Cheyenne's young sister, who was about the same age as the kid at the time, that had gotten eaten. It was great. But first one shot, I saw rats on Disney property, not the cartoon kind. So now the thing is, like, they say when we went to Disney, most of the times every time that I've been there, at least, we stayed at Fort Wilderness, which is like the campground, right? And we camped in a tent, camped in a fucking pop-up trailer. We did all that shit on Disney property. And then one year we did go and we rented out one of the cabins there. It was awesome. And I spent a lot of the time when we weren't at the parks at night fucking catching anoles and fucking geckos and shit like that. And I remember the one night, my dumbass, being the dumbass that I am, we were coming back from the ferries that took you to the parks. We were coming back to the campground at night. It was probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And we're walking across the beach from the ferries. And I see a snake run right across on the ground in front of me. And my dumbass, my first thought, I see snake, I'm grabbing that motherfucker. I reached down and I just picked it up. And it was about 3 seconds after I picked it up, in the dark, couldn't see shit, barely saw the fucking snake slithering across in front of me. And I then thought, I'm not in Illinois anymore. This is Florida. Is this a corn snake? Is it a black racer? Is it a rat snake of some kind, Everglades rat? Is it, is it a pygmy rattlesnake? Is it a coral snake? Is it a cottonmouth? Is it a diamondback? Who knows? I had no fucking clue. I just saw a snake and I picked it up. This thing could have been the deadliest shit fucking in the world. I wouldn't have known. Especially with all the invasive shit that's down in Florida. Who the fuck knows what's down there? Right? I still held it in my hands. I fucking kept it till I got some light on it and shit. And luckily it was just a little fucking, I think it was a ribbon snake. It was a little ribbon snake that I had caught. Like, literally just... I see a snake, I reach down, I grab the motherfucker, then I think, what is this? It was a fucking great idea. Can't wait to see Scales first iguana hunt. It would be fun. I'm down to go iguana hunting. We'll say the fucking tastes pretty good too. I don't know. I ain't tried it yet. Snake repellent ain't too expensive. You just got to put it out every couple of months along fence line. What is snake repellent? How does that? I don't know how that works. I ain't never heard of no snake repellent. Sounds like some snake oil to me, but one was from back in the day, and they were in restricted areas, so Disney fought it off in court. Makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Not like even, but you'll see like people. Disney does not like to admit to people dying in the parks, regardless of what it's for, whether they would have been liable for it or not. You know, whether it would be an accident on the rides, or getting trampled by horses in a parade, or it's just an old man had a heart attack. They will never, almost never die on Disney property. Even if they did, they didn't die on Disney property. They will literally falsify records to show that somebody had died. And it's been proven already that somebody died on the way to the hospital on the public highways in the ambulance and not on Disney property. First one shot, rat shot out of my 38 is my snake repellent. See now, I don't. See now, that's where I have a dilemma, right? I'm not one to kill snakes out of fear. I'm not one to kill snakes for no reason. I'm not one to kill anything for no reason. I don't want to kill shit unless I'm going to eat it, right? And now, I would not be opposed to eating snake. But I'm not going to shoot a fucking cottonmouth in the head and then try to eat that motherfucker. Because I don't know where the fuck that venom went when I shot it in the head. Because that's where the venom glands are. So, it's kind of sketch. But I've already looked into it because in Florida, DNR or whatever the fuck they say, fish and game down there is very prevalent. They're everywhere and they have a lot of rules, especially when it comes to fucking wildlife, fucking with wildlife, right? But I've tried looking into like how to relocate animals legally. Because last thing I want to do is have a fucking rattlesnake in a bucket in the back of my truck I'm trying to drop off at the fucking woods down the street, right? And I get stopped and I got busted with a fucking live rattlesnake I ain't supposed to have. And so I've tried to figure that all out and get all that situated, but I can't find shit other than classes on becoming licensed to relocate these animals, which I don't really want to do, although I might end up doing it anyways. But yeah. See, first one shot. That's the thing, though. You say I would not kill for no reason either, but if it comes at me. But the thing is with knowledge, with information. I'm not saying you are ignorant in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying that you don't know. But at least in my belief, with my knowledge on reptiles and snakes in general, and dealing with snakes for as long as I have, snakes don't come at you. They may move in your direction. They're not coming at you. They're not trying to attack you. Your best bet if a snake is to come at you is to stay the fuck where you're at. Because worst case scenario, that bitch is running away under your legs, running right past you, not giving a fuck. Right? They will not try to hunt you. They will not try to come at you. They will not try to kill you. They will not try to attack you. Their first instinct is to run. Now, you may be along the fucking bank line on a lake, and there's a fucking water here, cottonmouth here, and that motherfucker just wants to get to the water to get the fuck away from you. But guess what? In order to get to that water, it's coming past you. If you leave it the fuck alone, it's going to go straight to that water and run, hide underwater for a little while. You ain't going to see it again, you know? And that's where, like, I don't like the idea of just killing snakes for no reason, you know? And even if you think it's coming for you, even if it's coming at you, even if you think you have to defend yourself, you don't. And while you may think there is a reason, there is still no reason. In my opinion, at least. Will I chastise anybody for doing so? No. Realistically, not. I do have an issue with people who will fucking go out into the fucking woods, see a timber rattlesnake, and drop a rock on its fucking head, especially when they are endangered here in the state of Illinois. I think across most of the U.S., they're considered an endangered species, especially when that is the rattlesnake that is exhibited on the Gadsden flag. Don't shut on me, motherfuckers, right? That is the timber rattlesnake. I want to protect those motherfuckers, keep them out there. They are endangered in many states here in the U.S. where they used to be prevalent, including here. I have seen one in my lifetime here in Illinois. They're fucking awesome. But I have seen entirely too many people. I've beat somebody's fucking ass before because I just saw his ass fucking throw a boulder onto a northern water snake. Entirely too common. They're fucking everywhere. Everybody around here thinks that they're a fucking cottonmouth because it's a snake in the water. It's obviously a cottonmouth, even though cottonmouths don't really. You're not finding a cottonmouth up here. Even fucking TT always tells me, "Oh no, there's cottonmouths all over that waterfall Glen and shit." I'm like, they're not cottonmouths. It's a fucking northern water snake. And I show him a picture of a northern water snake. Yeah, that's a cottonmouth. You can't tell me that's not a cottonmouth. I'm like, motherfucker. But it's shit like that gets to me the most. Is just killing shit because you're fucking stupid. For no reason whatsoever. And that guy, well, that kid, because at the time I think I was probably 13, 14. That kid was about my age at the time and fucking off of a bridge, he literally fucking saw a big female northern water snake, grabbed a fucking rock off the cliff behind him, and just dropped a rock probably about that big right on top of the fucking snake and killed it. Why? That snake was fucking 15 feet down from you. Why do you feel the need to kill that motherfucker? There's no point in it. But yeah, it's one of the things that bothers me still. It gets to me. Some people are just too stupid. Some of them don't make no goddamn sense. But there's a difference between stupidity and ignorance. And if you are willing to learn, if you're willing to listen, you're willing to think freely and actually make sense of it all, then you're just ignorant. You just don't know yet. If you refuse to know, you refuse to listen, you refuse to learn, then you're a fucking idiot. That's the biggest thing. Timber rattlers aren't endangered on my bug out local. Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were even federally endangered or at least fucking protected. Let me see real quick. The banded water snakes we have here are ignorant as hell. I've had them intentionally come after me when wading in the creeks fishing. See now, the model, not to say nothing, but you're wrong. They're not going to come after you. They may be coming down the water. They see you, may think you're a fucking log or something. They're not coming after you. May come towards you, may slither towards you, may fucking swim towards you. But they're not coming after you. They're not trying to fucking attack you for nothing. Conservation status least concern, population decreasing for the timber rattlesnake. So, at least federally, timber and canebrake rattlesnakes are not protected in the southern states, and the species is not considered to be in serious danger, but populations are steadily decreasing over the geographic range, primarily due to habitat destruction and other human activities. So, at least in the south, they aren't endangered. Up north, yeah, there's a bit of a problem. But what about the trouser snake you beat to death first one shot? What about that poor trouser snake? Need somebody else to help you out sometimes. Clam slam. Guys, believe it or not, but snakes and other reptiles can be curious also. Yes, they can. Not, there's, I've had them strike my waiters at already, actually. Well, I didn't say they can't be assholes. The thing is, you could have fucking, I can almost guarantee you got a fucking water snake swimming up to you. If you put your hand down and just bop it on the fucking head, it's swimming away from you. That's just what they do. I can't tell you how many northern water snakes I've caught, into the hundreds, possibly thousands. I used to go out fucking fishing. I'd catch 30 of them in a day while I'm fishing, just for the fun of it. Some big, some small, don't matter. But every single time that I see one, I walk towards it, it starts swimming away. Every goddamn time. But first one shot, I always be bopping snakes on the head. Dude, that's what you got to do sometimes. Just bop them on the head, And literally, though, I mean, fucking, I think I had some videos. I think that was before we started the Shoot the Poop podcast, though. I had some videos. One of the times I went fishing down at Corey's over here in the Lamont. I was fishing down there, and while I was fishing, a fucking northern water snake swam up right next to the rock that I was standing on fishing. He was just sitting there with his fucking head poking out. Then I saw him swim down the way a little bit. I went over the next rock over, and he popped up again. Same snake right next to me and looking right at me. I fucking reached down with a fucking stick and picked him up out the water. And I was just sitting there fishing. Had him wrapped around my wrist, fucking casting with one hand, fucking holding him with the other. I can't tell you how many people I had fucking walking past, looking at me like I'm crazy and shit, because there's a fucking walking or bike path right behind me where I was fishing at. And there were people that would fucking come back and everything. I had a couple old ladies fucking screaming when they saw me with the snake. A couple old guys going, is that a cottonmouth? And I said, no, there's no cottonmouths down here. Ain't nothing to worry about. And the one dude wanted to take a picture of me to show his grandkids because they thought I was fucking insane. But we're allowed to harvest one timber rattlesnake or one copperhead per year here in PA with a permit. One timber rattlesnake or one copperhead for eating. They're supposed to taste pretty damn good. I ain't tried it yet. I'm not opposed to it. Fucking restaurant down the street from me here, fucking supposed to sell rattlesnake bites, little fried snake nuggets. But I went there the one time, and they didn't have them. They were sold out. Their supplier had cut out on them and said, no, we can't get that. We ain't supplying that for you. And so they didn't have it. And I hear they had it afterwards, and a few other people I knew had tried them there. They're supposed to be pretty good, but I ain't gone back because I was pissed about fucking paying $45 for a fucking 3-ounce venison steak that was overcooked. And I said, fuck that. Absolutely fuck that. And I ain't been back since. I won't go back. Just on the premise. Fuck that shit. I ain't paying fucking $40 for an overcooked 3-ounce fucking steak. Regardless of what the fuck it is. Or where the fuck it's from. It didn't even have no seasoning. It wasn't fucking seasoned with a damn. We can use that permit on one or the other. For the copperhead or timber rattlesnake. That's cool. To my knowledge, here in Illinois, I don't think they have any permits for grabbing snakes. Actually, I don't think there's the only regulation they have as far as like collecting reptiles is you can't have any of the fucking endangered shit. You can't have anything venomous in your possession alive, I think. And you have to have a fishing license in order to do any of it. And other than that, I think you're good. I was once punched a snake to death from 3 different cam angles in my biopic Hard to Kill. Radio fell. I picked up a 13-foot Burmese anaconda once and bull whipped its head clean off, cooked it up over the fire, and conquered everyone's winning that night and the following morning. Some manly shit right there. Picked up a 13-foot Burmese anaconda. I can't wait to hear some people talking about the Burmese anacondas down in the Everglades, down in Florida. That's gonna be fucking great. Probably better restaurants in Florida too. Yeah, there's quite a bit more gator for sale as well. You know, there was one restaurant here around here that they had whatchamacallit, they had gator. They had gator nuggets for sale. It was like a Cajun restaurant, and that was the first time we got Paisley, Cheyenne's youngest sister, to eat gator. We told her they were chicken nuggets. So after the third or fourth one, then we told her they were gator. She was wondering why everybody else was eating them so much too. It was fucking delicious, but there's a predator tag here in Illinois. I don't think you need a predator tag for snakes, though. I don't think you need any tag for snakes. I think all you need is a fishing permit, a fishing license, and that permits all of the reptiles for collection, dead or alive. But I think there's still regulations as far as quantity and how many you can keep at a time. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. And that might even just be towards keeping, like as far as like keeping them as pets. I don't know if there's regulations on hunting them necessarily. I would assume Florida has a lot of gator for sale. We got it in the freezer section at Walmart here in Mississippi. That is sick. We ain't got no fucking gator at Walmart here. That's some bullshit. I waited fucking years to get some fucking boiled peanuts at the Walmart here. I literally talked to fucking management there and shit. They finally fucking carry it. I think I'm the only one that buys the shit, but it's fucking, I'm glad they got it. But actually the in-laws, when they bought some property down there in Florida, they were gonna live there on in their motorhome until the county told them they couldn't live in the motorhome on the property because they were going to live in the motorhome until the house was built. Then county told them they couldn't have the motorhome on the property without a house built already, which is bullshit. But their neighbor, he's a big fisherman down there. Apparently, really likes to go pan fishing. You know, catching all the crappie and shit down there, all the fucking tilapia that's everywhere because fucking tilapia is taking over every freshwater fishery in Florida. It's fucking nuts, but it's catching like 100 a fucking day. But he goes gator hunting every year too. I think they just took down a 13-footer this year, and they fucking eat that bitch up like crazy. Rusty says canned Cajun boiled peanut scales. Nah, I don't do the Cajun. I just do regular salted boiled peanuts because I'm a bitch and I don't do the spicy. Want to share a few pics of the chat scales and send you pics of me and my buddy's timber rattlesnake harvest from this past fall? Yeah, send them over. I'll pull them up. Heads are gone already. One's a black phase and mine was the yellow phase. Sick. But are you going to send them over on the Instagrams? I'm logged into my shit. Yeah, send them on over. Our gator hunting laws are lame. We still do a lottery for it. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing though. Is what was it? Just a couple decades ago that alligators were considered endangered still, and then now there's fucking so many of them. They're hunting them now again, which is fucking great. This gator's delicious. They got to control it somehow, right? Keep the populations up while also keeping them in check because there's no predators for the gators other than us now. And bull sharks. Bull sharks in the Everglades. There ain't many bull sharks up in local neighborhood ponds or in your neighbor's pools and such. These pictures ain't showing up too good. All right. Well, I'll show what I can here. I don't know. These pictures ain't pulling up too great. Here, 1 second. Let me see if I can save these and make them bigger. Save that there. Canned boiled peanuts are a great snacky poo out in the swamp. Yeah, I mean, fucking boiled peanuts are delicious, man. My grandpa back in Virginia used to make them fresh all the time. They're fucking amazing. I wanted to make them fresh for the longest time myself, but I can't find anywhere that sells green peanuts because they don't do that up here, which is unfortunate. So I could have ordered them online, but it wasn't worth the work. I ended up for a while before they had them up here at the Walmart or anywhere. Yeah, they're soft when boiled, but finally they got the cans. Before that, anytime we'd go down to Florida, if we drove, which a lot of times we did when we were camping and shit, I would really buy like $100 of the fucking canned boiled peanuts just to have them for a while. So I'm gonna go get me some boiled peanuts right now. Boiled peanuts matter; they do matter. But there's a timber rattle. It's a decent sized one, not too big though. I expected more from your wind model. No, that yellow one though, that one was pretty cool. Let me pull that one up real quick. There we go. That one. That's pretty sick. I ain't seen one looking like that before. Almost looks like a goddamn ball python with that patterning though. I bought out Kmart all their cans when they closed. It's great. I remember when I was down there the one time, we went to the Walmart and I picked up a fucking 5-pound can of boiled peanuts, and I brought them to school with me. Yeah, while I was in fucking high school, I just fucking carried around a can of boiled peanuts, and fucking my building and trades class, we were actually staying in the shop that day. And fucking, I convinced the teacher to go into the fucking teacher's lounge and heat them up in the fucking microwave for me. We just had a fucking 5 pounds of fucking boiled peanuts for the class. Nobody fucking, I think one other dude had boiled peanuts in his life because they just don't do boiled peanuts up here, unfortunately. And it was fucking great. Half the people don't like boiled peanuts. They say they taste like fucking feet or smell like feet, and the other half they're fucking delicious. I'm one of the ones where they're fucking delicious. Now, Cheyenne, she's a weird one in that she doesn't like boiled peanuts. She doesn't like peanuts in general whatsoever. Doesn't eat peanuts, right? But she likes the shell of the boiled peanuts. So she literally just sit there and chew on the fucking shell after I eat the fucking peanut out of it. But first one shot, you just eat boiled peanuts with a spoon out of the can? Not generally. Usually, and you can. I don't usually use a spoon. I just use my fucking hands. But fucking open it up, fucking pop them out. They're all still in the shell. The shell is soft. You can eat the shell if you want to. I do sometimes. Sometimes I don't. But yeah, just fucking. Usually, what I'll do is I'll just fucking pop the whole thing in my mouth, fucking chew on them to get all the fucking actual peanut out of it on the inside and spit the shell out like I do with fucking sunflower seeds, right? Basically just a big ass wet, soft sunflower seed. You can heat them up too. It depends on how I'm feeling that day and whether or not I do. Fucking throw them in the microwave, throw them on the fucking pot. But yeah, there's so many ways. The town north of me that holds a rattlesnake roundup every year, people just get together and go catch thousands of them. Thousands of rattlesnakes as part of a tournament. It's pretty cool to see them all. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things with these rattlesnake roundups that I see, especially down in Texas and shit, where people do a lot of stupid shit with rattlesnakes during these roundups. One of the things that I'm completely against is people with venomoid rattlesnakes or venomous snakes whatsoever, where they remove the venom glands from their heads and where they remove the fangs and try to say, oh, it's safe to handle it now. Number one, because normally when people are doing that shit, especially at the rattlesnake roundups, they're going to rip those fangs out of their mouth. And then that is that snake's way of feeding, right? That's how they kill their prey, to eat it. And when they do that, they're generally not keeping it. They may kill it and eat it later on. And they're just doing it for show at that point in time, right? But a lot of people do that, then release the snake anyways. And then now that snake's just going to fucking starve to death. But if you do remove the venom glands from their head, they can still grow back. They can still produce venom. And so a lot of people will think, oh, I removed the venom glands 3 years ago. It's perfectly safe to handle it. It's fine. Then they get bit and they still get envenomated because those venom glands grew back and now it's producing venom again. It can still kill your ass. And it's one of those things where, like, you feel safe about something, but it don't mean it's safe, you know? It's basically like, you know, oh, the gun's on safe, you know, you ain't got nothing to worry about. It's the safety's on. Still a bad fucking idea, you know? And then there's a lot of times where they'll similar to what they do in India and everything with a lot of the fucking cobras and shit, is they'll literally sew the mouths shut on the snakes so they can't bite somebody, so they're non-dangerous. You know, it's just so much fucked up shit that goes on around the snakes. But that's where you get into with a lot of things in the reptile world. Reptiles, people don't see anything you do with reptiles as animal abuse, right? It's just a lizard. It's just a snake. They don't got feelings, you know? And you can do almost whatever the fuck you want to them and nobody gives a shit. Even PETA probably would not give a fuck, right? Because it's a goddamn snake. What the hell is snakes good for, right? But I mix snake venom, antler juice, monster cocktails for parties. Sounds like a hell of a fucking party. Fucking first one I'm gonna try them when I find them. You gotta find them. I mean, like I said, around me, they got them at the fucking Walmarts now. They got them right there next to all the fucking other canned foods. But nah, it's great. My grandpa back in Virginia, he's the one that got me hooked on this shit. He was the one that caused this problem for me, caused this addiction that I got with the boiled peanuts. So I remember the last time I was actually down in Virginia, he sent me home. He had bags of boiled peanuts. They weren't fucking canned. They were in plastic bags and fucking still store bought. But I think he gave me like 50 bags of boiled peanuts to take home with me. And just over the drive home, I think half of them were gone. And it was fucking, it was a lot. One model 88. I know what you mean. They don't do that at this one. They just handle them and show them off and pick out the heaviest one and the longest one as part of the tournament and then return them. They handle them how? Hopefully with snake hooks and tongues and not with their hands. Return the ones they have no permit to cover, at least, I should say. Hopefully they return them back to where they got them at, but yeah. If Bill Gates mRNA injected boiled peanuts yet, Scales? I don't know what they put in the boiled peanuts. I don't ask it. I just eat them. In tubes, mostly with hooks. Good shit. Good shit. I got no problem there. You know, that's the safest way to do it. And that's the number one thing that I like to push with any reptiles is fucking safety, just like anybody here does with guns. Is firearm safety is a big thing, not only for safety for yourself, for others around you, but also to put out a better image for those who aren't inside of the community. You know, everybody likes to know that this person who has these guns is safe with them, knows what they're doing, isn't putting anybody in danger with those firearms, right? Same thing with reptiles. I don't like to see idiots that are putting people in danger with reptiles, whether it be with a venomous snake or with a non-venomous snake, whether it's some dude fucking with a big ass snake fucking walking around trying to scare the shit out of people with it, you know, it's putting people at risk. not only them, but also the animal. And it's just fucking stupid. But that's like this dude fucking I talked about him before. Fucking Brian Barczyk. Fuck that dude. He's one of those. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got a big fucking following, and he loves to kind of fanaticize things, right? He likes to make things seem more over exaggerated. You know, he likes to make everything seem crazy and more interesting than it really is. But he goes on the fucking like Jake Paul's fucking shit and fucking drops snakes over people's shoulders and shit to try to scare them and everything. And that's putting the snake at risk as well as the person that is now handling that snake unexpectedly. Because when they jump, they make any sudden movements, they're then more likely to get bit. Just how it works. But yeah, there's one of those things just pissing me the fuck off. So I saw him here, mainly some old man on the side of the road selling them. You can get a styrofoam cup at the gas station with a crock pot next to the hot dogs and nachos. I know, it's fucking great. It's fucking great. See, the problem is most of my time that I've been down to Florida is we're going to Disney World, and all we really do is go to Disney World. You know, we might make a trip out to fucking McDonald's or something so we don't feel like paying money at Disney for fucking dinner. You know, make a trip to Walmart and grab some shit for fucking cooking back at the campground. But we never really went other places other than within Disney. Other than the last time I went down, which was a couple of years ago now, it was me and Cheyenne and then a buddy of mine and his girlfriend at the time. We all went down there and we stayed off property from Disney for the first time. We did Disney, I think, 2 days out of the 8 we were there, and we did a bunch of other shit. That's when I fucking got to stop at the gas stations, get fucking boiled peanuts, get everything else. The fucking seeing Gator for sale here, there, and everywhere. Fucking, we actually went to Gatorland, which was fucking awesome. I tried to get kicked out, but I didn't somehow. You know, I was going around fucking catching animals with the signs telling you don't touch the wildlife and shit. I'm fucking catching turtles, snapping turtles, snakes, everything all over the place. They tell you not to touch nothing. It was great. That Orlando, Florida is different than the rest. It definitely is. And that's one of the reasons why we're going back down there if I'm not moving down there. And by then, at least, or probably won't be. We're going down there in June. And I was looking forward to staying back at the in-laws' place outside of Orlando, away from everything there. But it seems as if we're actually going to be staying in Orlando again. But hopefully get a couple days outside. Hopefully a couple days to get the fuck out of there. Because that ain't what I want. That ain't the Florida I want to visit, you know? That just ain't it. But it's an unfortunate truth what I'm going to have to deal with. I was just talking earlier, if we do move down to Florida, I'm going to be at Disney World way, way, way more than I want to be. Because fucking in-laws down there already got the seasons passes. They got the fucking annual passes there. For the two that don't work there, at least. But, and I know, because they're already going there every fucking weekend damn near for the fucking free concerts or whatever the fuck event that's going on there, because they do something all the time. And so I know that I'm going to be dragged there at least twice a month. It's going to hurt so much. It bothers me. Rust Shack food. Come down south scales and they're pronounced borrowed peanuts. And them boiled peanuts. Boiled penis? Boiled penis. That's what it is. No. Disney's drag shows are right. What the fuck, Disney drag shows? I don't think I'm down for no Disney drag shows. Disney drag racing, maybe. Oh, even that could have a different meaning now. Who the fuck knows? It's problematic. Saw some fucking news headline. I didn't even read the article because the headline itself pissed me off. I think Steven Crowder posted the shit about a fucking pedophile that was deemed safe, no longer a danger to anybody by a judge because they've decided that he is now a she. And so now this is a woman. So they're obviously not going to touch any kids because now he's a woman. So now it's safe. We don't need to put him in jail no more. Oh, fucking shit. Constance Carpenter says, I've spent more time in the upper part near Destin. Don't know where Destin is. But if it's the upper part, that makes sense. I think I know where Destin is now. It's in the upper part of Florida. So, like, more towards Georgia side or more towards fucking. Oh, it's all Georgia, right? The South Carolina border of Florida? Thought it did. I don't know. If I lived in Florida, I'd definitely have to own at least 3 airboats. At least three. At least 3. Of different sizes, though. You know, you gotta have different sized airboats. You know, you could start off the shit like Whistling Diesel did. We had a little 8-foot John boat and put an industrial fan on the back. That shit worked. Not well, but it worked. You know, fucking. MAPs is PC now, not pedos. Minor attracted persons. Get a rope. Now get a fucking wood chipper. Get a fucking 45 between the. As I told Cheyenne earlier, an article like that, a fucking headline like that, is the type of shit makes me want to go fucking Punisher with the fucking registry, bro. You just go online, pull up the fucking names. They got the address. They got everything. I wouldn't do it. It's the wrong thing to do. But fucking. Oh, man. That's the kind of shit that pissed me off. On the beach, but yeah, closer to Alabama. Yeah. Sounds like a good time. There's a few people with fan boats around here. My poor ass has a few canoes. Sorry, my neighbor's got a big ass pontoon, but all I got is a fucking 12-foot John boat that I ain't had in the water yet. And I got a kayak that also ain't ever been in the water. I ain't even got a paddle for it. But love money, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Yeah. That's why the John boat ain't been in the water yet. I don't trust TT on that motherfucker. Go and tip that bitch over. Used to love canoeing when I was younger. Carpenter. Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, I like a kayak, man. The thing is, in a kayak, most kayaks at least, you're solo. You're on your own. You're in full control. You know? And they're a bit easier to control than a canoe. A lot easier to control than a fucking John boat. But yeah, that's I enjoyed when I was in fucking high school. I did Adventure Ed, which was a substitute for gym, in which we did more outdoorsy shit. So we learned to fucking shoot a bow, which whatever, but fucking did more in depth CPR training and shit. We did wilderness survival training, you know, learning how to build a fire, shit like that. They did rock climbing. We did self-defense lessons, you know. We learned how to fucking throw a punch and shit, all the shit I learned in the class, you know. But we also did kayaking. We literally fucking, they started us off with boats in the fucking pool at the school and paddling around, learning to fucking roll the bitch, learn how to fucking climb out, get back in, how to ditch out of it once you go topside over. But then we actually did a day going out on some whitewater with the kayaks. That was fucking fun. Fucking whitewater kayaking. That shit was fucking nuts. You can load more gear in a canoe and don't give the front passenger a paddle, then you're in control. Yeah, but it's just a canoe is so much larger. I mean, like, you don't get as much maneuverability in a canoe as you can a kayak. At least in my experience. Depending on the size of the canoe, I guess. But I mean, at a certain point, a canoe is just a kayak, you know? The fuck's the difference? But yeah, I don't know. Tubing is a cool thing around here now, but I'm too plump for that nonsense. Yeah, I mean, fucking my mom still goes tubing here and there. They go out fucking down the river, down the Des Plaines, I think. They get a fucking big group, tie off to each other in the fucking inner tubes, got a cooler in another one, fucking just sitting in the sun, baking and getting drunk. I don't understand the interest so much myself, but I guess it's something to do. It's a reason to get drunk in the middle of the day, I guess. That's all most people need. Remember how to turn your blue jeans into a kind of horse collar life jacket by tying off the ankles and catching air in the waist. Have you done it and had to do it before? Because it ain't fun. But I've got a solo canoe and a tandem. Although canoes do suck in the ocean, they're terrible. Got a kayak. Kayakers roll over and do it again. Dude, rolling over in a kayak is fun. All right. Like if you can get it done, you can actually do the full fucking rotation of the shit, it can definitely be fun. But learned how in Boy Scout scales it worked. Yeah, I mean I've done it before. Probably didn't necessarily have to, but it definitely made the job easier, you know. But no, I mean I haven't had too many issues in the water. You know, I can swim fairly well. The only issue I ever had in the water was one before I could swim. I damn near drowned in my great aunt's pool. Nobody paid attention to me. I'm fucking sitting there, fucking bobbing off the bottom of my hand in the air, trying to wave to get somebody's attention because I'm drowning. I think I was like fucking 6. I learned to swim late, all right, but and the only other time I really had an issue was when I jumped off the cliff at the quarries and landed flat on my back off a 60-foot jump. Knocked the wind out of me as soon as I hit the water. Then I still hit the bottom afterwards. And luckily I hit the bottom because that's the only reason I was able to fucking orient myself after I hit the water. Hit the water, air knocked out of my lungs, swallowed a bunch of water because now first thing you do when the air goes out your lungs, you gasp, heave, grab a bunch of fucking air, which at that point was water. Luckily, still at the bottom, fucking oriented myself, kicked off the bottom, hit the surface. I was able to grab onto the fucking cliff face and stayed there holding on until I could fucking get all the water out of my lungs and get some air in there. And by that point, one of my buddies ran down the fucking hill around to the side of the water, jumped in and swam out to me instead of fucking jumping off the cliff himself, which would have been faster. But probably would have ended in a similar situation to me. But it was fucked up. That was not a fun time. I didn't jump off that cliff again. I did not, especially after I was swimming in that water and I realized that the area to actually safely hit jumping off that cliff was probably about a quarter the size of this room. Because if you didn't land there, you landed in this side. It went from being about 10 foot of water, which is where it was safe, to about 2 foot of water within a 3 foot span. Out this way, you still had a little bit of safety. It stayed deep for a little bit longer, probably an extra 8 feet out that way. It stayed just the same depth. Then it went shallow again. And then this way, if the cliff is right here, you go this way, and there's a giant rock of fucking concrete with rebar sticking out in every direction. So it would have been great to jump into that and just get impaled immediately upon impact with multiple pieces of rebar. But yeah. Hypo Drake, glad you survived. I'm glad I survived too. I shouldn't have. But I did. There's a lot of things I shouldn't have survived from. But at those same quarries though, me and my buddy pulled up a John boat that had sunk. Somebody had sunk it. Didn't have a plug in the back, which is probably how it sunk. Me and my buddy pulled it out, fucking patched the plug with some electrical tape and a water bottle. Fucking patched it up and put that out on the water. We didn't have a paddle. Ended up taking a fucking branch with a Y in it and fucking wrapped my t-shirt around the Y and used that as a paddle. There were some dudes up on top of the cliff that had apparently just gotten out of Army basic training is what they were saying. And they learned how to rappel and cliff rock climb and shit like that. They had the harnesses and everything. They were fucking climbing down, but there wasn't enough holds to climb back up with. So they were just rappelling down the cliff face, and we were picking them up with the boat at the bottom of the cliff, bringing them back to shore, and they'd run the cycle again. Then they asked if we wanted to try it. My buddy Logan, he was scared. He didn't want to do it, you know. I was scared. I didn't want to do it, but I said, fuck yeah, let's do it, you know? So I ended up doing that. That was fucking terrifying. That same cliff that I damn near died jumping off of, now I'm climbing off the side of it fucking backwards. That was interesting. But hey, it was an experience that I did. I ain't mad about it. They controlled everything. I didn't get to fucking, they didn't show me any of the fucking technique or nothing that was utilized. They showed me, all right, hold this, fucking sit backwards, and then fall backwards off the cliff. And I did. And they said, all right, keep jumping until you hit the bottom. And I did. It was fun times, though. Let's see, I was in a boating accident when I was 15. The driver was highly intoxicated and slingshotted another boat. I was ejected off the bow. I was okay, and I'm a good swimmer, but that was crazy. That's fucked up. That's really fucked. Yeah, I ain't never been in a fucking boating accident. Other than fucking capsizing the kayaks and the whitewater shit. That was always fun. But never anything that crazy. He has helmets and shits where my head bounced off the rocks. It was fine, you know? Biggest problem was it was fucking November when we went. We went in fucking November whitewater kayaking in fucking Illinois. That shit was cold. We're out there in fucking swim trunks and nothing else, fucking whitewater kayaking in November. Fucking insane. Motorboat's a whole nother story now. Sounds wild. Glad you made it through the young and dumb phase. Yeah. Problem is, I'm still in my young and dumb phase. I try not to be so dumb, but sometimes you just can't help it. That sucks. That's why I try to stick with pontoon boats these days. Good old party barge, bro. I ain't never even been on a pontoon, surprisingly enough. No, people who got them, like I said, the neighbors got one. Or, no, the old neighbor had one. New neighbor ain't got no pontoon. At least that I know of. I haven't talked to him much. One day he came by to fucking thank me for offering to let his guests park in my driveway instead of on the road. But that was just awkward. He was really awkward about it. Pontooning is a vibe. I'm sure it is, man. I just fucking, it'd be great. It's a floating dock, man. That's all it is. It's a floating dock. It's got to be a fun time. We were fishing, he was drinking, and he said he'd never seen the anchored boat when we were headed back to the dock. That's fucked up. In Deliverance, Ned Beatty asked Burt Reynolds, what happens if you flip over? Burt replied, try not to hit any rocks. If you do, don't hit them with your head. It's a great plan. Unfortunately, you flip over. Try kind of hard to control what your head's going to hit or what you're going to hit, especially if you don't know what the fuck's under the water. But the hardest part when we were fucking doing that kayak and shit was catching the fucking kayak again after you went out. Because, of course, the first thing they tell you is fucking you roll over, you go upside down. They don't want you to try to right yourself, even though I still did a couple times to right myself back up and do all right. But because it's a school thing, you know, they want you to do the safest thing possible. So they tell you to fucking rip your shit and fucking dip out of there. But then you're grabbing onto a fucking rock to hold yourself in place in the rapids. But your fucking kayak is just zooming right the fuck past you. So you got to go and swim after that motherfucker afterwards. And it was a pain in the dick. What was even more of a pain in the dick is everybody else. The whole thing was you're supposed to have a partner. So there was a fucking stretch. It wasn't too long. It was probably about a 100-yard stretch of rapids we were going down. And you fucking went to the top, put in, went back down to the bottom. And you get out and you'd have a partner that would fucking help you carry the kayak back up. And they'd go. Then you go back down, back up. Then you'd go and fucking switch off. I didn't have anybody fucking to help me out. There was an odd number of guys there. Or I had no number of fucking students there. And so I was the one that got left out. I was doing it all on my own, which meant I got more runs in, but also meant I was fucking carrying the kayak back and forth the whole time myself, which is fun. M. Gabriel scales. What? We're in a 16-foot Jumbo with a 30 horsepower tiller steer motor, probably going like 20-ish miles per hour, which doesn't seem like much, but you go flying like a bird upon sudden impact. Yeah, I mean, fucking 20 will still kill you. 20 will still kill you, man. You got to be careful with that shit. Don't sound like much, but it's still something. Skills, what's your shirt say after the butt? Not a big fan, but ironically, I love my reptiles, as I lost one today. Yeah. Unfortunate. But it's what it is. Live, move on. Not getting another berm, though. I still want another retic. I've had bad luck with them. Every fucking I've gotten so fucking still pisses me off. I still don't know what the fuck happened to that baby retic I got. It just refused to fucking eat. I thought it was a fucking typo or something when they fucking wrote on the bag that it was already 3 years old as a baby. But yeah, I don't think it was. Yeah, pissed me the fuck off. But yeah, berm is gone. No more berm. TT has less to fear in the stew when he comes over. He's probably still gonna, out of fucking habit, look behind the flags with his fucking flashlight and be like, hey. He's probably not even gonna watch this shit. He's probably already in bed and shit. Fucking couldn't get the fucking compute running and just decided to call it a fucking night. Which I don't blame him. But yeah. It's very unfortunate. He's gonna have to give it up anyways for moving to Florida. So whatever. Is what it is. Get a nice friendly bull snake. There's a such thing. It's a friendly bull snake? I didn't know. Ain't a single one that I've seen yet. TT still screams like a little girl when he sees a spider. Damn right he does. Fucking his ass. The thing is, like, I legitimately don't kill the spiders in my house. They're fucking up in a corner of the room or whatever. Fucking, I just leave them be. I fucking picked up wolf spiders and shit in my house and just let them fucking move on, put them under the couch and shit, where they're not going to bother nobody. But so he sees them quite often in my house. Would you be sitting here and fucking spiders crawling on the ceiling? You see him with the fucking flashlight. He'll be like, "What the fuck is that?" And like, dude, it's a fucking little ass fucking daddy long leg. Calm the fuck down. The wolf spiders kill the brown recluse. Exactly. and the fucking whatchamacallit, the fucking black widows too. So we got those up here still. A lot of people don't believe it. People don't think it. We got black widows and brown recluse up here. It's great. Two most fucking venomous spiders in the U.S. And we got them both here. I think they are the two most venomous, actually. But actually, I think they might even be the only two that are actually medically significant. But I like wolf spiders and never mess with them. I love bull snakes and they're hissing, but man, are they ornery. Yes, they are. They're fucking assholes. But they are fucking assholes, man. I forget. We've actually had quite a few at the shop because the boss was breeding them for a little while. And anytime you walked past the fucking cage, they'd start hissing and huffing and puffing. It was fucking great. A couple of them would strike at you every time you walked past. Little fucking assholes, man. So this guy relocates spiders he finds in his house into the couch where they won't bother nobody. What the hell? Yeah, I mean, hey, fucking, I'd rather have the spiders sitting up in the corner than the fucking flies and moths and shit fucking flying in my face. Spiders will stay up there in their own fucking space where I ain't got to fucking deal with them. They ain't fucking bothering me. I ain't going to bother them. Is what it is. Got black widows here, but they're not as common, at least not on my property. Yeah, I mean, I haven't. That's the thing, though. Black widows are really, really good at hiding. You know, they will stay far away from you. They will stay away from the light. They're going to be in your fucking crawl space. They're going to be up in your attic. They're going to be in the fucking top corner of your closet, the place you're never going to look. And you 99.99% of the time will not know they are there. Which is the scary part about it. because that's where you're gonna fucking go, spring clean. You're not gonna think nothing of it. You're just dusting cobwebs. Fucking put your hand up and on the top of the fucking trim in your closet or something, and you get hit. Now, they're not really dangerous, black widows, to adults. The only time you're really gonna have any issues is with infants and such, and in which case they're generally not going to come into contact with each other anyways. But it does still happen occasionally. And even then, it's not really one of those things where they're even likely to bite. You can handle black widows quite often, and they're not really going to bite you. They're not really aggressive spiders in any sense. You have to really, really, truly piss one off to get them to bite you. But most of the ones I've seen has been when I'm working on someone else's house. Yeah, I mean they're common, but you don't know it. That's the thing. You can have them for decades and not see a single one in your house. Just how it is. But I've caught quite a few at the shop. We had them at the shop all over the place. The one year was really bad, and I also noticed a lot less wolf spiders in the shop. Don't know what the hell was up with that. But the one year we saw a lot less wolf spiders was also the year we saw a shit ton more black widows and a lot more jumping spiders too. But I was catching them sons of bitches. I was catching the fucking black widows and the jumping spiders. We were just fucking selling them bitches in the shop. I was selling black widows for $30 and I was selling fucking jumping spiders for $10, $15, depending on which one it was. All black widows I've seen is like in a wood pile and like, oh damn, there's a black widow. Yeah, I mean, fucking I think I've only ever found two of them outside of at the shop. Because at the shop, I kind of would expect it. If anywhere, they're going to be there. Because it stays fucking in the basement there. It stays 85, 90 degrees year round. With like 70 to 80% humidity year round. And so it makes sense they'd be there. But I found one when I was really young. In my buddy's fucking wooden playset. In his backyard. He had one of those fucking little tree house things or whatever the fuck. Had a slide, had the swings hanging off of it and shit. And there was one up in there in the fucking little clubhouse portion of it or whatever. And that was fun. We were both fucking terrified because I didn't know shit about spiders. I was never even much a fan of spiders when I fucking started working at the pet shop. It was one of the few things is one of, I think, 3 questions I was asked during the interviewing process for the pet shop was basically, is there anything you don't fuck with? Anything you're not fond of, And my answer was spiders and scorpions. I don't fuck with them. I was not about the arachnids. I was not a big fan of bugs in general, but spiders and scorpions are the 2 that I said hell no to. And that's only because I didn't know that they sold centipedes. Because I don't fuck with no centipedes either. I still don't fuck with no centipedes. Centipedes scare the fuck out of me. These ones they carry in there. Fucking Vietnamese centipedes will fuck you up. And I'm not about it. But I still have to fucking deal with them all the time. It's a pain in the ass. Trying to feed them sons of bitches. Fuck that. But, yeah, Florida's got scorpions, but they're small. Yeah, you get the fucking Florida bark scorpions. I've had a few of them, actually. I've kept them. They're pretty fucking cool. They're not very venomous. They're not very toxic. It's like a fucking wasp, Ain't much to worry about, but they're cool as hell. I actually went down, the last trip that I went down to Florida was I was planning to go out and try to find a bunch of fucking Florida bark scorpions because me and Cheyenne had flown down there. But my buddy and his girlfriend, they drove down there. And so I had brought a bunch of fucking little deli cups, little fucking basically little ketchup fucking cups like you'd get at the restaurant, like a fucking McDonald's or some shit to fucking bring to your table. And they had lids on them. I poked holes in the lids for them. But I literally was planning to go out. I had a fucking blacklight flashlight. I was planning to go out into the fucking woods one night and try to catch a bunch of fucking Florida bark scorpions and bring them back up here. But unfortunately, the night that I had planned to go out was also the night that me and my buddy had went and bought a fucking bottle of Patron. And by the time it got dark enough to go out and look for scorpions, Cheyenne told me it wasn't safe for me to be walking around in the woods alone. And nobody else wanted to go out in the woods in Florida because, you know, alligators and snakes and scorpions and shit. They're all fucking pussies. But apparently I was not allowed to travel the woods alone that night. So did not happen. But when I moved down there, we found all kinds of scorpions. It's gonna be a fun time. It's one of the things. It's gonna be fucking, man. Florida is like the place for me as far as the reptiles go, the animals, the fucking scorpions, fucking all that shit. It's gonna be a fun time. I ain't gonna be bored down there because even for me, I still find fun in going out in Florida and just catching a fucking anole and fucking around with it, right? Like when I'd go down to Florida, I'd be in fucking Disney World catching anoles and fucking other lizards and shit. Fucking just because it was more amusing to me to catch that fucking lizard on the ground than to fucking anything else in Disney World, right? I ain't interested in the rides. It's fucking boring to me. I ain't interested in fucking meeting characters and shit, right? I don't give a fuck, you know? So it was fucking great though, because when we went down there for a while, I had Cheyenne's youngest sister, Paisley. I had her convinced that all the anoles, their name was Jeff. I told her every single anole that you see, all these little lizards, their name is Jeff. All of them. So I had her at like 5 years old, 6 years old, running around Disney. Every time she'd see one, and they're fucking everywhere, right? But every time she'd see one, Jeff, 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 Jeff. It was great. People looking at her like she's fucking crazy. It was amazing. Fishing down there is legit. Yes, it is. And the amount of different species you can catch down there, everything's crazy. You know, especially go further south even than Orlando. You get out there, you get fucking all the South American species too, you know. You get snakehead, obviously, is fucking crazy down there. That's the first invasive fish species everybody was talking about, right? And now they're illegal to keep almost anywhere in the US because of that, which is bogus as hell. You can't even keep snakehead in a fucking fish tank in Illinois. They ain't gonna survive here. What the fuck are they worried about? But then they got fucking all the fucking South American cichlid species down there. You can catch fucking red devils. You can catch fucking Oscars. You can catch peacock bass. You can catch fucking clown knives. You can catch fucking arowana. You can catch fucking people catching red-tailed catfish and shoveling those catfish down there. It's sick. I was watching a video because I obviously fucking follow a couple of the fishing YouTubers. I think it was fucking John B, the Guggen Squad, the TT despises for some reason. But he was fishing. He was down in Florida, and he was fishing, going on a bunch of fishing trips in freshwater, trying to find a bunch of those invasive species and shit. And he was talking, and he said that he had a buddy that knew of an arapaima spot in Florida, a spot to catch arapaima. And I don't know if he actually meant arapaima, because I ain't seen nobody catching arapaima in Florida. I couldn't see catching arapaima in Florida, at least not the arapaima I'm thinking of, or at least not at the size that I'm thinking of. So I got arapaima at the fucking Shed Aquarium, right? Them bitches like 10 foot long, 12 foot long. Them some big ass fucking fish. Them some fucking fish bigger around, twice as big around as I am. In freshwater? Fucking shit. That's a fucking contender for the alligators, bro. That shit might be eating the alligators at that point. Like, goddamn. The motherfuckers, their scales are fucking this big. Armored fucking plates. It's insane. Motherfuckers might be bulletproof. We got freshwater spoonbill catfish here. What the fuck is a spoonbill catfish? You got me beat there, I think. I don't know what the fuck a spoonbill catfish is. Paddlefish? Is that what you're talking about? That's all that's coming up. American paddlefish. Spoonbill catfish. Yeah, paddlefish. All right. I just didn't know it by that name. Yeah, I mean, they're fucking all over the South. Now, not all over. They're still not the most common. So people catch them in the Everglades and shit, too. All over the fucking mangroves and shit. But I've had paddlefish caviar. I ain't never had no kind of caviar. I don't fucking have no desire to have caviar. Caviar, to my understanding, and people that I know of that have had caviar, is basically just salty jello. Like, that's all I've heard of it. Salty, fishy jello. You know? That's fucking, I have no desire. I don't like fish in general. I don't eat fish, which sucks. It still hurts me that I don't like fish. I don't like the taste of fish. I can't do it. I've had, I think, once in my life have I had fish that I actually enjoyed, and that might have been the heat stroke talking at that point in time. I don't know, but that was in Massachusetts, and we had caught some sea bass and we had caught some fluke. We were out since 6 o'clock in the morning in the water. It was like 7 o'clock at night finally when we had eaten, and it was shit that we had caught that day on the water. And Cheyenne's, I think her second cousin, technically, was one who cooked it up and fried it up for us. It was fucking great. But again, that might have been the heat stroke and fucking exhaustion talking. Who knows? I don't like fish for a long time. You just got to have the right fish. Yeah, I mean, that might have been it. That might have been the fish for me. Who knows? But I don't know. I need to fucking try it and just force myself to eat it. At the same time, like, I don't know. I'm not going to make fish for dinner, you know? And then I'm stuck eating a PB&J because I don't like the fish that I cooked, that I caught and I cooked, you know? I just go fucking catch and release, and that's about it for me. My brother snagged a 3'6" spoonbill using knee-high to a grasshopper in our flat-bottom boat. Was dragging him around the cove. That's fucking sick. But I mean, the first fish I ever caught was a fucking catfish the size of myself, and I technically didn't even catch it. I hooked the motherfucker. I was trying to reel it in, and the motherfucker broke my pole. I think it was like 3 years old, 2 or 3 years old at the time. And I was in Virginia fishing with, I think it was me, my grandpa, and my cousin Destiny. She was down there fishing with us. And I had a little SpongeBob pole, one of the little kids' poles, you know, little SpongeBob fishing pole. And my grandpa, he always liked to fish back behind the nuclear power plant because the water stayed warm and the fish got bigger. And that fish was bigger. And that fish was longer than I was. It probably weighed more than I was. Broke the rod. And my cousin, actually, she ran up after I broke the rod. I was sitting there holding the rod. Fish is dragging out lines still. And she runs, oh, what the hell's going on? I'm sitting there holding the rod crying because I'm like fucking 2-3 years old. My brand new fishing rod I had just got and just broke. And she comes in and she hand lines the motherfucker in. But that still might be the biggest fish I've ever caught to this day. It was the first fish I ever caught. And I might have caught some fucking carp that compete, but I don't know. A lot of people don't have a clue how to cook fish. Yeah, I mean, I can say I don't have much of a clue how to cook fish. I got some ideas. I know how to cook fish. I know how it's done. I ain't never done it, though, because I don't eat fish. That's how they catch them down here, Rusty snagging. Yeah. It's hard to get them to fucking bite, ain't it? One of them. They do the same shit, fucking. It's the only way I've heard of fishing for them. Same with the sawtooth, but. Rusty, I practice catch and release in the grease. That's one way to do it. I know some fellas like catfishing below the Jackson water treatment plant on the Pearl. I'm good. Yeah, I mean, fucking, they got plenty of food, you know? That's what matters, right? It's all the food supply. No, I mean, there's a lake. I forget where it is down in southern Illinois. But I know there's supposed to be some good catfish. It's a very sandy lake, though. It's weird for Illinois. And they got beaches and shit on it. But they love it because there's a power plant on the water. That's why people like to go there swimming at the beach, because the water's warm. It's one of those things, man. Corn-eyed, finless brown trout? What the fuck? That's exactly what them catfish be feeding on. below that water treatment plant. Some corn-eyed finless brown trout. That's exactly what it is. Kind of like our logo. But now it's always weird going fishing though. Because my grandpa, we'd leave out at like 3 o'clock in the morning to go fishing. So we had to stop at the fucking bait shop, which wasn't even a bait shop, it was a fucking deli that he went to. And he'd get a paper bag full of fucking blue crab, live blue crab. And they just give it in a fucking double bagged fucking brown paper bag, fucking this big. He'd walk out, we'd bring that down with us. He'd just fucking rip them open, grab the meat and throw it on a fucking hook and throw it out there. But but we'd go by the nuclear power plant, but on the power plant property. So with being on their property to fish, we had to go through massive security checks. So they had to fucking stop at the security. They'd fucking swab our hands, fucking check our fucking hands for gunpowder, explosives, anything like that. They'd fucking search the whole car. They'd be fucking wiping down the door handles, the steering wheel, the fucking shift knobs, everything they fucking could. There was a touch point, looking for like any sort of residue. And then they'd be going around with dogs, and they'd be going around with a fucking mirror on a stick, checking the underside of the fucking car, looking for shit out of place. It was like a 45-minute check every time just to get past security. That's why we had to leave at 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, there's some big fucking fish down there. You know, my grandpa's pulling out fucking 3-foot catfish, 4 or 5 of them every time we went down there. So I never at the time I never really had the patience for catfishing. I always wanted that instant gratification, you know. Now I'd love catfishing, fucking just sitting back doing nothing but waiting for the bite. But I'd always take the crabs that he would break open and fucking throw the meat on the fucking hook and shit. I'd grab the shell, the top shell. I'd go to the side of the water. I'd be catching minnows with it because there'd be a little bit of meat left over in the corner of the shell. I'd fucking dip the shell in the water and just pick it up, and I'd have like 3 or 4 minnows that were trying to eat the meat still in the shell. I'd fucking grab those and fucking we'd be throwing those on the hook with the crab to get some movement on it too. It was great times though. I was tubing behind the boat as a kid in the warm outflow waters of a nuke plant. Dad killed the engine smack dab in the middle of a football field-sized minnow kill to take a sample. I was screaming. It's fucking. It was fucking good time. Best part about it though was my grandpa. He was an alcoholic. He was a recovered alcoholic, so he was sober. He'd have his non-alcoholic beer and shit, but his solution to not drinking alcohol was sweets. So he always had a deep freeze in his bedroom that he kept stocked with ice cream. And whenever we'd go fishing, he'd have to have the sweets. So he'd have the cooler be filled down with like fucking Mountain Dew, waters, and then fucking boxes of fucking Little Debbie snack cakes, fucking Nutter Butters, fucking zebra cakes, fucking everything, fucking the oatmeal fucking cream pie shits, fucking all that shit. Leads be being fat as fuck, waiting on the fish to bite. It's fucking nuts. Turns out they were shad or something that the game and fish had stocked that died immediately to temp shock. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Old people love ice cream. They do. They do. So, I don't know that necessarily old people love ice cream, but it seems to me that the old people, especially the grandpas that I know of, love giving the kids ice cream. You know? Like my grandpa here, he's always got his freezer stocked full of ice cream. I ain't never seen him once eating ice cream. Not once himself. But every time when grandkids come over, now even fucking his great grandkid, my daughter Charlotte, comes over, he's forcing ice cream down their throats damn near. You know? He's always got it stocked for the grandkids. Always got it stocked. Always has been. Her fucking Cheyenne's grandpa, he's the same way. Every time we go over to his house with Charlotte, He's slipping a 20 down her shirt and telling her that's her ice cream money for when she gets home, you know? And fucking when we're there, he's talking about we need to get some ice cream for her. You know, he'll even fucking send me out to Wendy's to get some Frosties so that she can have some ice cream. She can have some Frosty, you know? But my fucking grandpa back in Virginia, my mom said it was the day that I came home from the hospital when I was born. That first thing my grandpa did was, I think it was kiss my mom on the cheek, then grab me out of her arms, take me right into his bedroom, and give me some ice cream. The day that my mom got home from the hospital when I was born. I don't know any grandparents that aren't into ice cream. I don't either, really. See, it's not even grandparents, in my knowledge, like from my experience at least. It ain't even the grandparents. It's the grandpas. It's the granddads. They're all into the ice cream. They love sharing that ice cream. That's all I've seen, at least. But hey, everybody loves some ice cream, right? How can you not love some ice cream? Now, guys, it's unfortunate, and I apologize, but I am not TT. I cannot talk for hours on end. I just ain't got it in me. We got 2 hours out of the emergency live stream to make up for TT's shortcomings tonight. Me and the old lady are anti-ice cream? What the hell? That's not right. That shit ain't right. How can you be anti-ice cream? That's weird, man. But on that note, we did have, and I hadn't even mentioned it once, some horrible advertising for us. Our merch store, shootingthepooppodcast.creators-spring.com. I just read it off the bottom of the screen myself. Got some merch out there. Got some new shit that people ain't looking at yet. Some designs from Cheyenne that are pretty cool, in my opinion. All the new shit, we've opened up all the color options they got. So you can choose whatever base color shirt, hoodie, whatever the hell you want with the logo on it. All kinds of shit. Make sure, like the video. Comments are always helpful. Subscribe if you aren't already, though I'm sure everybody that's watching right now, anybody that's been on here long enough, been watching afterwards long enough, I'm sure you are subscribed. Are there hoodies? It is a cool logo. There are hoodies. There are hoodies of all kinds. So you can get the hoodies with our Shooting Poop Podcast logo on it. You can still get the Boog hoodies, which were a limited classic, now a timeless classic, for now at least. Still probably limited because we're going to get kicked out to Teespring at some point. We've got some other shit that ain't been seen yet. We got a lot of the logos and shit that were from the stickers we were trying to sell previously, which didn't work out too well. We got the Tactical Scales logo. You know, my personal YouTube channel's fucking profile picture. We got the Gun Bunny. We got a few things on there. Some cool shit. Check it out. Even if you don't buy nothing, just check it out. It's cool shit, you know? Maybe buy some shit. We don't make much money off of it anyways. Don't even worry about it. But it's still cool shit. I need to change some shit up, though. I still think, personally, that for a hoodie or any of that shit, that we should have a logo on the back and have, like, an STPP, like, on the chest, you know? That kind of, I don't know. But we got some shit there. I hope y'all have had a good night. I hope I ain't been too terrible of a host. I know I need to fucking start bringing on more comms on the screen and shit and remember to fucking click this shit. But I'm not the best at it. I ain't the best at talking to myself. Luckily, I've had you guys here to talk to. It made things easier for me. Appreciate you hosting Scales. You done good, my man. Thanks and have a good one. To all you as well. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping out, you know? Thank you for interacting. Keeping it interesting. And I'm out. In a second, maybe. Because I forgot to set this shit up.